Perfect.
Welcome to the Mizell Show.
An inspiration for a new generation.
Hi, I'm Alanna Mizell, a loving mother of two, a devoted wife to Stephen, and an entrepreneur helping women realize their dreams and potential.
And I'm Stephen Mizell, caring father of two, a devoted husband to Alanna, and a driving force to help young men prepare for life after college football.
And if that wasn't enough, we're a biracial couple.
She was raised in the North, but I was raised in the South.
The only thing normal about our lives. Who am I kidding? It's never normal around here. Join us for the Mizell Show.
Right now. Yay.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
I'm sure you guys have
2025.
five.
I had to think about it.
We haven't been on a podcast in 2 months.
This is my year. I just realized.
This is your year.
My favorite number growing up was 25. I was number 25 in high school. I was about to say in college, but
Didn't
I
play
mean,
in
I
college.
was, but
Technically,
intramural
intramurals.
sports.
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. But I just now realized.
But it's okay.
Just
Only
now.
a few days into 2025.
But it's just registering.
I get that. I totally get that.
I knew it's been coming for a while.
This
now.
is true. You knew 24 or 25. You knew there was coming, but you still just put together that it was your
just
thing.
realized it.
Yeah, I totally get that.
We weren't really in the vibes manifesting very well until right now.
Right now.
Till after I just finished my workout,
Yes.
which usually is what happens.
Yeah, Pete, your
When I'm in my own little
endorphins are running.
world.
So the Mizells, I don't know what we were watching, but someone said the comment of life has been lifing, and man, we have been lifing.
I
these
think it
last
was.
2 months.
Was it Yellowstone?
I don't know. Was it Yellowstone? It was some show we. I gotta be Yellowstone. Yellowstone was the last show we really watched together. So it had to be Yellowstone.
Usually, I say that the fall is like a fire hydrant coming at your face. I think that this was the entire hose coming at your entire body.
So the hydrant is gone and the whole thing.
Yeah,
is
it's
spewing
just
up.
we're just it's
You're trying to
everywhere.
put your face over.
No. You're trying to stop it,
Oh, you're
and
trying to
it
stop
just
With your
keeps
hand,
going everywhere.
Not your face.
Yeah, or the Hollywood movies when the pipe bursts and nobody thinks to turn the water off.
Yeah, but it's just spewing everywhere.
It's spewing everywhere, and you keep trying to cover it and stuff.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like.
No, I get that.
That's why we haven't been here. So to sit down and do a podcast and actually
Have the bandwidth.
have decent content that's not just I'm really tired.
Oh yeah.
Or,
I mean, yeah, we could have put out. I think sometimes even our bad content is good content, but we still.
no, I don't disagree, but it's also it's just been a lot.
It's been a lot.
There's been some things that we probably should have said no to.
Yeah. I think the busiest thing that you have during the holiday season, going to the new year, is the X factor of birthday parties. You already have Christmas parties. You already have things that are coming that you know.
Oh my gosh,
but the birthday
that is
parties,
so true.
You don't see coming, and it's just
this is the first year that we've had birthday parties for our kids because they're at the ages where everybody has a birthday party.
Yeah.
And how many did we say no to? So we
said
did say
no to quite a few, but we also
and
said yes.
it still felt
Yeah.
like we had probably 2-3 a month.
2-3 a month. Yeah, I mean it was a
And then
lot.
our friends' birthday parties,
Our
and then
friends-
our child had a birthday party,
And then also you
and
then have
Jesus had a birthday.
and then Jesus had a birthday. Then also you have holiday parties at your school and holiday. Not just parties,
and
but
then
also programs. Yes.
And then you have gifts for the teachers. And then you have things for the people that you love because you want to give them gifts. That's my problem.
That's Alana's
That's
problem.
my problem.
But here's the thing, though. This year, Alana
I did tie
reeled
that
it in,
back.
and she did a phenomenal job.
We brought it back.
Many people know, listen to the podcast, you probably know, Alanna is now a pseudo baker. And I say pseudo because she could be a master baker, but she's pulled herself back not to be a master baker.
Because I work 40 hours a week.
Exactly. So
And I have 2 children.
She has pulled back, and I'm very proud of her for pulling back. But her love language this year was to make, the intimate family baked goods instead of the rodeo and dance. And
So we did mini bread loaves.
Mini bread loaves, yes.
Mini sandwich sourdough loaves with some strawberry butter. And we made
Homemade
butter for the first time.
Use it loosely. I just got the
Well,
groceries.
I mean, valid, but it was cool to watch.
It was cool to watch. It was cool to watch.
Like the science of it, like we dug into that to teach the kids.
Yeah.
And myself. And then we made the strawberry syrup that goes into the butter to make it strawberry butter.
Yeah. No,
it was pretty cool.
It was really cool
Yeah.
to see all that kind of come into play. And just on top of that, our kids playing sports. And so you're also running from practices to games, and all this to say that throughout the craziness, you're grateful for it, but you look back and you have people that you are friends with, that you love and dear, that are like in that same season.
Yeah.
But then you have people that come to you that are not in the season, like, how are your holidays? Was it restful? I'm like,
no.
You don't know what season we're in. You know what I mean?
It was restful in comparison to what I thought it was going to be. Mm-hmm. But was it restful? No.
Yeah.
And what's also interesting is I think that our podcast refuels us and is a vote of self-love to each other and in our lives. And I think that those are the things that fall off first when you're a parent and when you're in a super busy season.
Yeah.
Because all you want to do in your free time is take a nap.
Take a nap. And then also I think you have to have the bandwidth to understand if you're going to do something, you also want to do it right.
Yeah.
And sometimes, you have people, even like this whole, now you're in the new year, gym exercising. I tell a lot of people, I'd rather you go to the gym 3 days a week and like really focus and be intent and be present.
Right.
Than you just going every day. And in those other days, you're not giving your all, you're distracted. And do you really count that? And so with the podcast, we truly enjoy doing it, but as we were carving out times in our days and our nights and our evenings, it's like, could we sit out here and crank it out and probably 98% of our population wouldn't even know?
Yeah.
Probably could.
But that's not the quality we want to give.
The quality we want to give is not who we are. And so it's been a very unique time, and I think a time of reflection also, because you're like, it's busy and you have to sit down and make time. And like I said, the Mizells have been lifing.
And I think it's a good narrative also because anything that you do, or most of the things that you do, has a season.
Yeah.
So your friendships have a season, and I know people hate to hear that. There's very few friendships that continue at the strength that they're at. They may still be great friends of yours.
Yeah.
Like you guys have heard about my 6 friends at home. Well, it's really 8. But the group of friends from home, but that strength of those friendships rotates. Who I'm closest with at what times rotates. The connection with those girls rotates.
And I think the maturity of it that you say, Alanna, also is being okay with the rotation. I think some of the immaturity that I know I felt going through friendships is you get mad or you get frustrated when you're not with that person, or you feel like they're not a friend anymore. It's like, no, that's the season you're in, and be okay with it.
Right.
Yeah.
But to that narrative, I think that people expect you to turn over on jobs, every 3 to 5 years or whatever, promotion, whatever it might be. But they don't expect when it's a thing like a podcast for it to develop and change and adapt. I know that that's not what I was thinking of the Mizell Show. I was like, what do you mean? We're going to do one every other week, just like always. And I think for me, there also has to be this space of it's okay and a space of freedom, because we do this for fun.
Yeah.
And when we start to put the pressure on ourselves for something that we do for fun, it disappears. And so same thing with me baking. People have asked me to make cakes for, like, why don't you open a bakery? Why don't you start selling your muffins? Why don't you start selling your bread? I don't want to. I do it because I love it and because it's fun. And the second that you start to put a price tag on my baked goods, or you start to put a price tag on this podcast, it changes the narrative and the script.
Yeah, and I totally agree with that. I think that's something, again, in terms of maturity. This season, I would definitely say you still baked way more than most. But this season, you definitely...
Let's underestimate that.
But the fact is, this year, you were a lot more intentional about taking different pockets of time to enjoy the baking steps. Like last year was one of your first times making a cake, and you just like bulldozed the entire cake in an afternoon.
Last December was my first time.
Your first time ever
making like an iced pretty cake.
But,
not just like throw it together out of a box.
But so this year, as you've learned and done baked more, you've now put out pockets of time that, hey, I'm going to carve out 45 minutes of my hour lunch, hypothetically, and I'm going to put my headphones in and bake this layer and enjoy it.
Right.
And I found you had more enjoyment of making the cakes this season or making the bread this season because you didn't try to do everything at once. You were okay with taking a step, pausing. But I think so many times in life we feel like we have to go 0 to 100, and if we don't hit that 100, but what if you did 0 to 25 and you're okay with 0 to 25?
But like,
you know what I mean?
that not what you just said about going back to the gym? And like,
Yeah.
all these people with the resolutions, like. People look at New Year's resolutions and they're like, I've got to achieve this thing in this year. But what if it takes you 5?
Mm-hmm. And what if you approach it being okay with taking 3 or 5? Or
what
whatever.
if you just go, this is a gigantic goal?
Yeah.
And it goes right into my song of the month. It's so good.
Yes.
And you literally take it piece by piece or step by step.
Exactly.
Oh, gosh.
And so, as we're here, we're back. We are living you guys all the updates in lifing. But, as we always do, we have to give a recap of what Alanna's been reading.
What a segue, though, you just said.
But, here's the thing, though.
Sorry.
She has now... give a recap of all the books that she read this year.
I read 41 books.
She read 41 books this year. And so
I can't even
shouts
believe it.
out to Goodreads to help her track that. And also
if y'all are not on Goodreads, it's a free app that you can track books I want to read, books I've read, and you can even set a goal for yourself.
This podcast is not sponsored by Goodreads.
It is not sponsored by Goodreads. It's just fabulous.
Exactly.
We can also follow each other so I can see what you're reading, what you rate things. So it's on a 5-star scale, and there's one girl that she's like a big dog influencer, but there's one girl that she and I have similar taste.
Okay.
So I know if she ranks something 5 stars, I'm pretty sure I'm going to like it.
Yeah.
So it's just helpful to like narrow down especially when you're starting to get really into reading, there's books everywhere.
Yeah.
So it's exciting.
And again, we keep giving you guys snippets into what the last few months have been like. Alanna didn't crank out as many Christmas books as she usually does because life is lifing, as we say.
Yeah.
So this year, how many Christmas books? 3? Well, still a lot. Like 2 or 3 you read?
No. I read one in June. That doesn't count. I read 2.
2.
Oh, 3. 3. November and
3.
December.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Deck the Halls was one, or no?
No. That was the one in June. Wreck the Halls, I read that in June.
Okay.
The Tourist Attraction I read, which was a very quick, fun read. A December to Remember was in November. I think we talked about that. Maybe it was in October. I don't know. And then the Holiday Honeymoon Switch was hysterical.
Okay.
It was very witty, very funny, a few expletives, but it was really funny.
Good.
But one of my brother-in-law, I guess your brother-in-law too, but
yeah, my brother-in-law, yeah. He is mine. He's yours.
He is. I don't know why. Like, we don't even need to call him brother-in-law at this point. It's weird. Like, you're just actually attached. Anyway, he said for me to give my top 10 books as fast as possible, and I can't do it.
Do it. All right, guys.
Wait, I've got to figure it out.
Alanna's top 10 books of the year were number 10.
Number 10. I'm not fast at this. Nora Goes Off Script.
Nora Goes Off Script was number 10. Nora Goes Off Script by?
Annabelle Mahonigan.
Okay.
She's
Nora Goes Off Script, number 10. Number 9.
Icebreaker.
By
Hannah Grace.
By Hannah Grace. Number 8.
One Italian Summer.
One Italian Summer.
By Rebecca Searle.
Number 7.
Maybe Someday by Colleen Hoover.
Ooh, it's Colleen Hoover. Number 6.
The Summer Place.
The Summer Place by
Jennifer Weiner.
Okay. Number 5. Top 5 for Alanna.
I thought that was 5. Oh no, we're in 5. Okay.
We're in 5. This is number 5.
The Storyteller by Jodi Picoult.
The Storyteller by Jodi Picoult.
Fantastic.
Number 4.
Emily Henry, Happy Place.
Ooh, good one. You waited a long time for that one.
I did wait a long time for that one.
Top 3. Shouts out to the public library. Top 3, Alanna.
Oh, gosh.
Ooh.
The X-Hex.
The X-Hex was good. All
by
right.
Aaron Sterling.
All right, number 2.
Wait, can I do a tied for third?
Tied for third.
Oh, no, that was Happy Place. Okay, we're good. We're good. So then second place is going to be The Woman by Kristen Hanna.
The Woman by Kristen Hanna. I actually thought that was be number 1.
First place is The Great Alone by Kristen Hanna.
Ooh.
She took 1 and 2 this year.
Kristen Hanna knocked off a couple people.
Knocked off Julie Quinn. Julie Quinn didn't even make it to the top 10.
Did you have Tessa in your top 10?
Oh, I didn't. No.
Okay.
But I do love Tessa Bailey. They're easy reads.
It's okay.
I really wanted to pick. I mean, out of 41, I really wanted to pick ones that were impactful and like I really held on to something. Specifically with Kristen Hanna, she digs into parts of history that you learn something at the same time that you're reading a story. Yes, which is also what I love about Jodi Picoult, storyteller.
All right, and now for Steven's top 10 books of 2024. The Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell, the only book I read this year, but I finished it. So
you finished it?
I did finish it. We talked about that. I think we talked about it. Oh, I finished it.
I didn't know that. Did I?
Who knows?
I don't think I.
We finished it. I finished it. It was a great book. So shouts out to Malcolm Gladwell. Mm-hmm. I have another book on my docket to read this year. Maybe 2. Might get dangerous to do 3. Who knows? Ooh, yes.
Getting crazy.
And so shows we always hit on to let you guys know.
Yeah.
We finished the year with Yellowstone.
Yes.
We finally finished it. We got our last 7 episodes of season 5. Mm-hmm. Huge fan of Yellowstone. We finished it. Alanna showed her college glory years, and we stayed up to 12:15 one night watching the episodes.
We did. That's serious.
The next day was not good because our son still woke up at 5:45.
I was exhausted,
and we still
And I didn't regret it. Didn't regret it.
It was a really good finale. Never saw them selling Yellowstone. I mean, I just it kind of.
I didn't know where they were gonna go once I realized that Kevin wasn't gonna be on it.
Kevin was not on it at all.
So that was weird. The other show that we haven't watched, but we started. What's the Apple one that's on? Apple
Ted Lasso?
No. It's on Apple TV, but it's like in the title it says something about an apple. Far from the tree?
Oh, no, it's Peacock. Apples Fall from the Tree. We started that.
It's so good.
Yeah, we just never got back to it.
We got to get back on Lincoln Lawyer. We got to get back on that one.
Yes.
Sounds like we have a few 12, 15.
Oh,
yeah, right.
Yeah, right.
We could have done it last night. We were like up.
But But one thing that she did watch that she was very fascinated with, Martha.
I thought that's what you were going to say.
She watched Martha.
But
see, a lot of like Martha before Martha. You know what I mean? Like you've always been a Martha fan.
I've been a Martha stan since I would only buy her paints at Michael's.
Yes.
I used some of her stencils on our wedding stuff.
But how big of a flex is that when you are a person of her stature? Like, you have many people, I'm going to say like the Beyoncés, the Taylors, and all those women.
Case in point, they're people that you can say their first name and you know who you're talking about.
Exactly. But at the same time, when people put out a documentary of you, and you're like, okay, that's me, and that's a big deal. But to have the flex that she said to say, you know what? That wasn't really my story. I'm going to pull up on Netflix and I'm going to drop something for you.
For those that don't know,
exactly.
There was a documentary released about her.
And her
that journey, her husband
produced almost.
Her ex-husband had some sort of bit in. Mm-hmm. And I don't know all the tea, y'all. But it was on Hulu?
No, HBO Max.
HBO Max. And it was multiple episodes into a series. And she said, no. You're not going to be the voice of my story. And there were parts that were not accurate. So she dropped one on Netflix.
Yes.
It's much shorter.
And it blew up.
And she is in it.
Yeah.
So she voices her own story.
Yes.
And talks about going to jail. Mm-hmm. Talks about all that stuff. Mm-hmm. And what actually happened, which I was too young to realize.
Yeah.
Nor was I going to read about her case. Like, I don't really care.
Yeah.
And I still don't. Like, I still actually don't. I do care because it was a definite patriarchy move. But she's just a fascinating woman. And you cannot say that she did not take hold and essentially was the first influencer of influencers.
Yeah.
She was the first one to make a magazine that was her name.
Yeah.
Oprah followed.
Yep.
If you think about that, Oprah followed her to make the O magazine.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yes.
And
that's the thing that also misses a lot of things that we miss nowadays is that Oprah followed her, but the two massively powerful women were okay with them following and just went to a different demographic and still crushed it. So many times in life, they're like, oh, why? I'm not going to share my tea. I don't want to see her shine. I'm not going to see her. Kind of like you see with Taylor and Beyonce. Like, there's no... They both have their own pockets, and they're both going to go out and get what they know they can do. And that's something that I think is lost in African-American communities and also a lot of women. Like, instead of coming together and be like, I'm going to drop O, I'm going to drop Martha, we're going to crush it together.
Right.
It's like, oh, don't do this. This
like,
is my
give me
lane.
your tips and tricks kind
Exactly.
of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think both of those women also have always given a posture and narrative to, I'm going to share my knowledge.
Yes.
Versus hold it. And I think that's why they've always been so successful. Even if you think about how Oprah designed her TV shows and how Martha designed her show and even who Martha Stewart is, the entire thing is a posture of teaching.
Yeah.
I've got this level of excellence in entertaining. You can take bits and pieces of
and make
it
it yours. Yep.
and make it your own. You don't have to be the same.
Yeah.
There's a part of me that believes without Martha Stewart, there wouldn't be Pinterest.
Yeah. Because Pinterest piggybacked
Off of her.
Yeah.
I think Martha took components of Julia Child's TV show, cooking show, and then built it on her own and knew that she could create something absolutely fabulous.
Yeah.
And it just kept growing.
Sure. No, I totally agree with that. And it's something that,
And there's a reason her and Snoop are very good friends. And it's because they're both so business-minded and entrepreneurial, and you don't have to realize it because I have to believe that they're so humble. They're not out shining and flashing their money like some other people are.
Yeah.
They're not opulent. They care about the things that they care about, and they want to make a name for themselves, but both of which give back to their communities 12-fold.
Exactly.
Which is really cool.
I totally agree. And so, we talk about the book, let's talk about the show.
Yeah.
Let's now kind of pause and go into who was your artist of the year? Who was your artist? Who was your person?
Oh my gosh.
Who was your song?
Musical
you could do your
artist?
song? Yeah.
We can't do a song because that's my thing for 2025.
Well, I was saying you could do for the past year.
There's not I don't think there's a song that defined 2024 for me. I would say like the artist that I listen to the most. We don't have Spotify, so it can't tell me. But I would bet it was Luke Combs.
Yeah.
I was in a Luke Combs stand for a while.
Yeah.
Repeat. That it might be Teddy Swims.
Teddy Swims probably.
Collectively our whole house has listened to Teddy Swims.
Yes.
Nonstop. And he's about to release more music. So
that's beautiful.
Works out great.
Yes. Works
What
out
about you?
Great. I would say the songs or tunes that I've really hit the most with me this year. I know everybody's tired of him, but I'm going to say Jelly Roll.
We had a conversation last night about how he's everywhere, and
people are tired of him.
One
And
of
I
our
totally,
friends was like, I'm tired of him.
I totally get that, but
I
at the
do
same
love
time,
his story,
his
though.
story and his lyrics and his relatability.
They go hard. Yeah.
I like it, and I can listen to it. I can listen to it in the gym. I can listen to it driving. It's just something that it's easy listening, because sometimes I just can't listen to certain things. I'm like, I don't have the bandwidth for it.
Right.
But his
I think the same with Teddy Swims, like the alternative country soul. I feel like they all are.
Yeah.
Teddy's got a little bit more R&B, of course, but just that vibe, that good wholesome vibe.
Yeah.
And I can play the majority of it on our house Alexa.
Yeah.
And not have to worry about what they're gonna say.
No, I totally agree. But one album that you listened to on repeat this year that you really liked, that I'm surprised you didn't mention, we took our numerous road trips this year. What was her, Lainey Wilson, her album?
I have listened to her album a couple times on repeat.
Oh no, but is it Lainey or is it another girl that I think she was a TikTok star?
Oh, Alexandra Kay.
Yes, Alexandra Kay. You like her? Yes.
Yeah, she was on The Voice.
Oh, okay.
And she's a self-titled artist. She has no record label behind her. And she actually opened for Jelly Roll and sang a song on Twister's album with Jelly Roll.
Okay. But yeah, she's an album.
She's fabulous.
There are a couple of road trips we took in 2024. You listened to her album a couple times.
She's 90s country vibe.
Okay.
Which we love a 90s country moment.
Yes. And then
I think Lainey is too.
Lainey had an appearance in Yellowstone.
She did.
Didn't see that coming.
She did.
Didn't see that coming. But now, as people listen to our podcast, and if you don't know, go listen to other old shows, music plays a huge role in us.
Yeah.
We are also quite against the norm, but hey, we're not going to sit down and give you our top 10 goals of the year, resolutions. Just
yeah, you can even go back to 2024 January,
or even like our first podcast.
We're not about it.
We're not about it.
We're not about it.
But something Alanna came out of her workout, endorphins peaking, said, you know what? This year I'm going to do either a song, pretty much a song for the month. Yes.
And it may carry over and end up being, there might be a song for the entire year. I don't know yet. And I think that's also one of the things with resolutions is, why do we have to know what the whole year is going to encompass right now?
No.
Right now. No. So in this moment, there's a song for the month.
So what is your song for the month, Alanna?
It's Step by Step by Whitney Houston. And
Whitney, that is a jam.
Yeah, it's a jam. And but I also think that people
Whitney's Whitney. I love
Whitney.
Whitney.
Ooh, that was really loud, very close to the mic, so sorry.
Whitney's
anyway,
yes.
Whitney is, Whitney is Whitney.
Yes.
Like, come at me, you can't.
No.
But if you go back in some of our episodes, I don't even know where, you've heard Lyrical Motivation. And so that's something that I used to really do heavily on my Instagram. Maybe it'll come back. Maybe it won't. I've got no idea.
But something you're very passionate about.
I am very passionate about.
And what I love about it is that it trickles down to our kids. It's just a family thing. Like a family thing when it comes to music. And when Alana's listening to a song, she will pause the song in the car and like let our kids know like, this is what they're saying. This is what it means.
But did you just hear that?
Exactly.
Because, and we watch The Voice a ton, and you'll hear artists and musicians say, but you have to feel the song, like, what are you picturing? Yeah. And to do that, I just thoroughly believe that you have to understand where the person is coming from. And there's so many songs that people sing out of context because they don't look at the lyrics.
Well, yes.
And they don't read, okay, where did that come from?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
They don't. So, like, Blackbird that Beyonce actually redid on her Cowboy Carter album is not about anything except for people think it's about blackbirds. False. No, it's not. It's about during Vietnam and was about I believe it was about the first black people in Arkansas being able to go to school.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure. I don't want to be misquoted, but it's not about blackbirds.
No.
At all. So it's an even more powerful song for her to redo it.
Yeah.
And people sing the song Merely Freshman. They think it's about being a freshman in school.
Yeah.
No, it's not. Take a minute. I'm not going to do it on this podcast, but take a minute and reread those lyrics.
Yeah.
And really dig into where that came from.
Yes.
There you go.
There you go.
But another fantastic song, if you're going to get into lyrics, is Almost Cut My Hair by Neil Young. My dad will be like, oh my gosh. So it's actually about the Vietnam draft, because all of those men would have to cut their hair, and how he vehemently did not believe in the draft. Anyway, so Step by Step by Whitney. So I was finishing out my workout. I was literally doing kickbacks, and I was like, you know what? I'm obsessed. And I was just talking to Steven yesterday.
Yes.
I think it was yesterday or the day before. And if you've listened, I'll just kind of do a quick catch up. It's been almost over 3 years that we've been trying to figure out my health stuff. Yeah. And by that, we mean we've had ebbs and flows. Mm-hmm. We are at doctor medical professional number 14. 14. Yeah. 14. And a number of those have said, I don't know how to help you, or there's nothing wrong with you. Yeah. Let me just tell you there's something wrong. And I now am getting to the area of proof, and have been for well over a year. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So little bit by little bit, getting better and better in different facets, but there's still the underlying root cause that we're trying to get to. But I'm tired. I just had to pause to not say a bad word. I'm tired because continuously having to have hope that we're going to get to the root cause is exhausting. Yeah. And Steven is a fantastic advocate for me, but he can only advocate so much for me and motivate me so much. Like, I have to do it myself. Mm-hmm. And I think that's also something within a resolution that people get all motivated and blah, blah, blah. Well, you're not going to achieve it if you're not motivated yourself. Yeah. And so I'm just tired. Yeah. And the ability to, the current medical professional that I'm working with now is more integrative and internal and really digging into the minerals, the root cause. I'm doing Dutch tests. We can dig into that on another podcast. But the thing with her is she's like, are you ready to work? And I really wanted to spout off back and be like, I've been working for almost 4 years. Thanks for showing up. Yeah. No, of course, it's not her fault by any stretch. Mm-hmm. But for somebody to say, are you ready to start working out? Like, my head's going to spin. Because I've been working my you-know-what off for a long time.
Yeah.
For a long time.
So what is it about this song?
So what is it about
really
this song?
That just hits you?
So it says there's a bridge and a river that I still must cross.
Whew.
Like,
wow.
No, that's the first 3 lines. Do I need to go on?
I don't.
And you think it's like a little peppy, happy song, like taking it? Yeah. You know? Like, ooh, this is so fun. No.
Yeah.
She comes out and says that I still must cross.
You
haven't gotten there yet.
No.
You haven't gotten there. As I'm going on my journey, I might be lost. I mean, I'm not even to the bridge yet.
Not to the bridge yet.
Like, the actual bridge of the song. Yeah, also not the bridge that I've got to cross.
Exactly. Good job. Yes.
And y'all are going to listen to the song so differently. And then she says, I have a place I have to go to. No one told me just how to get there. But when I get there, I'll know. So nobody, specifically when you talk about like my health journey, it's not written out. It's not in a textbook. It's not in Western medicine. The root cause, especially in the human body, being so intricately woven, specifically God designed that way, nobody knows how to get there. Yeah. The mixture is, who knows, right? And it literally says that I'm the only one that's going to know when I get there.
And that's something that you can also, like, this is your journey, and I am along with you, but also, I think a lot of times in life, people get the question from parents, from friends, from your boss, well, what do you want to do next? How can we set you up what's next? It's like, but only I will know that feeling of like, this is my next job, my career. This is my next step in life.
Right.
Like you said, it's only you can ultimately say that.
Stephen and I have some big things that we already know are coming up in 2025. And I just was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It's going to happen.
Yeah.
You know, and like we've felt so at peace about what's going on, and we'll share more as the year kind of progresses. But there's been some apprehension. I'm just like, this is the journey that I know I'm supposed to be on.
Yeah.
And so then she goes into the chorus, and I'll kind of dig at that later. But it then goes in to say, this old road is rough and ruined. So many dangers along the way. So many burdens might fall upon me. So many troubles that I have to face. Excuse me? Excuse me?
Yes.
This is why you dig into lyrics.
Yes.
Because then when you are jamming and singing it, like, you're going to break down.
And that is okay. Like, it's okay.
That's why songs are written.
Yes. Yeah.
They're one of the few things that in our bodies can connect with and release endorphins without actually doing physical activity.
Yeah.
There's also so many studies about anxiety and depression and our neurotransmitters being released through song. Mm-hmm. Because it's so hard for our bodies to articulate what our minds are trying to do. Mm-hmm. And sometimes a song has to do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And not to like dig in anymore on books, but books are the same way. Yeah. It's somebody else telling a story that you can relate to, but that is every single song. It's a component of somebody's story.
Yeah.
And so if you've listened to the podcast for a while, you know it's been a rough road.
Yeah.
That I don't even think there was roads at some point. Nope. We're like,
straight gravel.
We're flying blind.
Gravel,
here.
mud.
Like and we don't have tires.
Through. Yeah.
Like we may have the middle of the carriage going.
Yeah.
We might have that.
Yeah.
So then, but I won't let my spirit fail me. I won't let my spirit go until I get to my destination. I'm going to take it slow, but I'm taking it mine.
Yeah.
But I'm making it mine.
Yes.
I'm going to take it slow because I'm making it mine. Like, Queen, what?
Yes.
What? And then, of course, she goes into the actual chorus that says, step by step, you know I'm taking it.
Yeah.
Bit by bit. And she says, bit by bit, come move. Stone by stone. Brick by brick. So you've got to start with step by step, and then you get a little bit further with a bit by bit, but you have to actually move. Mm-hmm. And then you get to the stones. And then you get to the bricks. Yeah. So if you think about it, you're just like singing along to the song, But if you think about it, it's actually, she's writing a progression in the chorus because she wants you to keep going. Yeah. And then it goes into, if you're listening to it, she's like doing her, her runs and stuff. But the background singers are singing, come on, baby, you got to keep moving. Come on, baby, you've got to keep moving. To the point that she says it 3, 6, 18 times.
18 times.
18 times at the end of the song. So ends it by saying, come on, baby, you've got to keep moving.
Yeah.
Because she started it saying there's a bridge and there's a river that I still must cross. So, as I'm going on my journey, I might be lost. But come on, baby, you've got to keep moving.
So who needed to hear that today? Goodness gracious.
Never. How many times have I heard that song?
Oh, yeah.
I've got it, I think, on 3 different playlists.
It's also fascinating because you think through, like, what part of her life.
Where was she?
Yes.
And when you already know I'm about to have to be like, okay, what year did that come out?
Where was she going
What's
through?
the deal with Bobby Brown?
Yeah, or
where
life
were
in general.
You?
Yes.
Did you have your daughter yet?
Yeah.
Like, I've got to figure it out. That's might be the song thing, too. Like, where was the artist at the time? Who wrote it?
Yeah.
Who wrote the song? I don't know. I don't know yet. But
yes,
it wrecked me.
That's just so.
It like got me, and then I played it. I've played it 3 times today.
So that's your
3 times.
Song
and
of the
then
month.
by the end, I was just dancing all by myself with my headphones in my office, doing my workout. Beep beep beep. Vibing. And I was like, I don't know what this journey is.
Yeah.
Literally, Steven and I have so much coming up that we're like stepping out on faith.
Got to.
But faith kind of makes me want to throw up. But Whitney said, "Come on, baby, we got to keep moving."
I keep moving.
If Whitney said it.
I
mean, that's Bible, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure biblically he said somewhere, keep on moving.
Oh, I'm sure he did.
Sure he did.
But yes, so guys, like we truly enjoy doing this podcast. We are here.
Wait, there's another part. I just like in my head.
Alanna,
I just thought of something.
She thought something?
I just thought of something. I don't know that it says it in this lyrics that I'm looking at.
But.
Oh, okay. So the first time that it goes, she goes in, starts to do her runs.
Yeah.
She says, in my head, I was singing it, you guys. Here we go. So, you've got to keep moving. Baby, don't give up. You've got to hold on to what you've got. Mm-hmm. Don't give up. You've got to keep on moving. Don't stop. I know you're hurting. I know you're blue. I know you're hurting. But don't let the bad things get to you.
Ooh.
Don't let the bad things get to you. You know, guys, that's when she does her big high note.
Yeah.
She goes on up there.
Yes.
Like, queen.
So
don't let the bad things get to you.
Yeah.
It's your journey that you're on, but you're taking it step by step. And come on, baby, you got to keep moving.
So that's Alanna's song of the month. We'll see how what it calls her to do.
Sam, the background singer.
And then next episode, we will come with Steven along this journey and see if Alanna's gonna
18 times. I had to keep saying it.
You had to keep going.
That wasn't 18.
It wasn't 18. But we will see what Steven's my song of the month is.
Oh, I can't wait.
Before we finish this podcast, I got one question for Alanna.
Oh.
Why was Cinderella bad at basketball?
Because she shot the pumpkin.
No, her coach was a pumpkin.
Oh my gosh.
All right, guys, we missed you. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.
So if you guys are enjoying this, definitely leave us a review. Give us the feedback. If there's something you guys want us to talk about, reach out to us on our website at themizellshow.com. There is a contact section. You can put it in there. We would love to hear about it. Or you can always go over to Instagram at The Mizell Show. Also, as always, don't forget to screenshot this episode and just add it to your stories and tag us on Instagram, on Facebook at The Mizell Show. Thanks, guys. Are you loving The Mizell Show? Well, we love you all. And did you know that you can have me and Steven talk to your team or a group of 25 of your friends? All it takes is 25 people showing up on either a Zoom call, a Facebook Live, or really anywhere, hopefully in person sooner rather than later. But how do you get us? So all you have to do is email themizellshow@gmail.com, or you can direct message us on Instagram @themizellshow.